Hello all, this is Chris. I am the author of the Cradle of Heroes, and I'm doing a little bit of an update video because there's been a lot of work on behind the scenes, and I thought there's some cool stuff that folks might like to see. So this is what the Cradle of Heroes looks like right now. This is my personal roster, everything the same as before, where you've got now an updated view of how characters look, lots more runes, better organization I think, access to a bunch of different skills, so all of the updated skills from character creation, but at a button click you've also got all of the other skills, so everything is really right there. The gameplay and everything is set up and seems to be working quite well. Within this you can do things like if your character gets hit in the head, you can kind of track the hit points there, and you will see that the hit points over here are also going down, so you can track kind of in one place all the different things that are going on. I've also added spirits and matrices, so you can go in, add in different bound spirits, matrices, extra sorts of magic power, and also track them through the game. So everything is really coming along. The main thing I wanted to talk about tonight, though, is new in the Create, and that is creating random heroes. So basically, I've found a way to go through and automate the really complicated character process. There's a lot of different choices that can be made, and with one button click you can create a brand new hero and do whatever you'd like with them. So I'm a GM. This should be fantastic for creating fast NPCs in the game, and I'll show you how it works. So you choose a homeland, an occupation, a cult, and the character scale. The scale is common, normal folks, heroic, which is about PC level, and then epic, which are pretty tough, rune lords or pretty close to that. You can choose any of the official cults, occupations, and homelands. So right now I'm controlling what actually counts as official, but if anyone creates something and it's solid, really happy to make that. So anything that you leave as random will be totally random. Anything that you set will of course be set. So if we say we're going to create somebody from Old Tarsh, and we don't really care what occupation they are, but say we want to have them as part of the cult of Humact, and we want them to be about PC level, so they're going to be heroic. We will add them to the open roster, and we click. And here is our character. So we have Berventkos the Lead. Pulled about 1,000 names off the internet and set up kind of a random generator, so some of these will be pretty damn funny. It does also give you a couple of traits for the character. You've got, again, you'll find heroic characters have got higher stats generally, epic ones have even higher still. The same thing comes from runes, so roughly this is not exactly by the book, but they will be balanced against each other. And you can go through and you can see kind of what's going on here. Spirit magic is in there as well. Reputation is missing for some reason, so I'll have to look into that. But everything else on the character is there, and you can see that, roughly speaking, the characters have got, well, pretty poor skills for this folk. But they are, of course, a thief, so of course they're not going to be great fighters, but we'll find some stuff under stealth, which is, again, not very high because they've got a really low dexterity, again, I'm guessing, and they're big. So anyway, you've got the character, you can then kind of tweak them, do what you want. So this is pretty cool. The other thing I've set up is a stat block. So before, if you copy test, you'll get the full character, but over here, you can have a stat block, and just kind of character paste, and there you go. So this looks kind of funny on the Google Doc, but basically you've got a pretty good little summary. I do it normally 2 columns, and you can get 1, maybe 2 characters on a page, but it gives you just kind of the essential details that you need for the character. So that's the big thing that kind of came up, but I also went through and figured out that it would be really useful to be able to create factions or hero bands together. So I've got a game tomorrow, so I'm going to create a band of lunar soldiers. And that was why I actually had this document open, because I've got a little bit like campaign plans. So we'll just take out that, so capable warriors of the Lunar Empire. Put that in there. We're going to say we want 8. I've maxed that at 8 right now. And we're going to add it to open faction. Sure, why not? These I'm going to be a little bit more controlling on. So I'm going to say they're from Lunar Tarsh. Their occupations, I want them all to be light infantry. I want them all to be worshipping the 7 mothers. But the character scale will be random. And with that, you'll end up with about 60% of common, about 30% heroic, and 10% of epic. And there we go. So here, we've got 6, because I forgot to change one little thing. But basically, we've got 6 fully built characters in a faction that we now have got full access to. You've got the same control over characters here. So we've got light infantry here. Well, they're all light infantry, so you can go through, you can see, this one's pretty big, high power as well, lots of spirit magic, lots of rune spells. So I'm guessing this person's probably epic, just based on the number of rune spells and things that they've got. The skills as well seem to be very high, so this is going to be, Brokenborn is going to be a hard foe. Brodar is probably a common person just because of the level of the skills and the rune spells and things. But again, you've got 6 of them with a button click that you can then kind of throw at your PCs, and again you can track all the stuff that you need here. So really at a glance you've got what you need. You can also go, so we say we're interested in Brokenborn, so we'll go into the character, crafty intuitive, heroic adventure. So yep, so he's actually not epic, but pretty dangerous for all of that. And you've got, and yeah, the melee attacks don't work perfectly. I've tried to set it up so when you've got certain skills, you'll get certain weapons, but it's been a bit complicated. It'll get better in the near future. So you can go in there and say, okay, well, I do want him to have the Copus, so we'll give him that, or as soon as I can find it. Save it again, and there you go. So again, with some very, very minor tweaking, this should be a super useful GM tool, and hopefully also useful for players who maybe just want to get into the game pretty quick. So that's the main update. Again, it's Cradle of Heroes. There's now probably 750 or so characters that have been made. A lot of cool stuff. And yeah, happy to get any feedback. If there's anything folks want to see or don't want to see, let me know. And that's about it. Take care. All the best.